Welcome. Welcome back to In the Meantime. If this is your first time here, let me give you a special welcome. Before I go into this discussion, I want to um, give some information that I had omitted in my video that I introduced myself. I introduced myself as a woman in her 60s, but I did not give you my name. My name is Dee Thompson. In this video, I will continue from where I left off in the last one, where I told you that it was time for me to start grade 1 at the new all-age school, but they kept me home because they could not afford to send Jay, Delroy, and myself. So this school year came and it went very quickly. And then the new school year came and they were prepared to send me. So I got dressed in my new uniform, which was red and white tunic with white blouse, and I was barefooted. I wasn't the only one. Some kids were barefooted, some wore shoes and socks. I was placed in grade 1, and I think maybe by about the second month, they moved me to grade 2. They didn't tell me why, but I think it was because I was able to master the work that they were doing in grade 1. You see, even though I did not go to school for that school year, while I was home, I would read anything that I could get my hand on, and also the exercise books that we wrote in had the timetables at the back. It also had measurements in weights and distances, etc., and some other information on it. And I made sure to study and to know all of them, along with other things. So I was moved to grade 2 and also did well. So grade 2 came and went, grade 3 came and went, and I did well. Then it was time for grade 4. However, before grade 4 started, during the summer before grade 4 started, there were some changes. Peggy Barry All Age now became Peggy Barry Primary. And the reason for this was that they had built a new school in the nearby town, which was called Grange Hill. So they built a school there, which was a secondary school called Grange Hill Secondary. And this school was for students from grade 7 to grade 11. So now Peggy Barry Primary would have students from grade 1, age 6, to grade 6, age 12. So at age 12, when you finish primary school, you would move on to high school or you would go to secondary school. In order to go to high school in Jamaica at the time, you had to pass a national exam called the Common Entrance Examination. You would sit this exam from between age 10 to age 12. you would have 2 or 3 chances to sit this exam, and that depended on what month you were born in. Westmoreland at the time had one high school for the whole parish. This was known as Manning's High School, and it was the oldest, second oldest high school in Jamaica. It was established in 1738, and the person who gave the school his name was Thomas Manning. Back then, it was a privilege and it was very prestigious to go to such a school. So, if you failed your 2 or 3 chances, or if you did not sit the exam at all, because some children did not sit the exam at all, then after grade 6, you would move on to Grange Hill Secondary. Mr. Anderson, who was the principal, he left, and we got a new principal by the name of Mrs. Samuels. She lived in the principal's cottage, and as I said before, the gate to the principal's cottage was right in front of my gate. Mrs. Samuels lived there with her husband, Mr. Samuels, and her sister, Miss Walters, who was also a teacher. She also had a son, Anthony, who was 4 years my junior. I am telling you about them because they would later on become a big part of my life. As I got a little older, I had to do chores. We had cows, we had goats, we had pigs. And before going to school in the mornings, we would have to take the goats and tie them in a field to get grass. We also had to move the cows from one area to the other so that they could get grass. Sometimes I had to do the goats by myself, and it was a bit frightening and unpleasant, especially so early in the morning because, for one, I was still little and the grass was tall, and sometimes I would get wet from the dew that would fall. I also had other chores, which included getting water from the river, which was not really close, and we used that water for washing dishes and for washing clothes. We would also have to get water from a pipe, a standpipe at night. So we would do that at nights, and this was about 2 miles away, and that water was for drinking, and we would have to make as many trips as possible to fill at least 2 55-liter drums. Sometimes we also took the dishes, the pots and the pans to the river to wash them, and this was something that other kids in the district also did. Between grade 3 to 4, I became aware that I was being treated differently from the other kids at home. I was blamed for things I didn't do, and at times I was punished by not being given food to eat. I felt unhappy and unwelcomed at home. My happy place was really when I was at school. I also loved to read, so I would just about read every book that I could get my hand on. I will cut off at this point because grade 4 and age 10 was a very, very pivotal point in my life with many changes. Thanks for watching, and join me next time in the next video where we will continue to talk. In the meanwhile, I wait upon the Lord. Please talk with me by making your comments. Please like this video, and if you have not subscribed already to the channel, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you will know when I post a new video. And until then, take care and God bless you.